Hi everyone, in this video we will learn about version control with Git. We'll learn about Git and GitHub. What is this? Why do we need it? And what's the benefit using Git? Everything. First we will understand the theory part, like the explanation, what is Git and all. So let's start with Git. So first part is this, why do we need Git? So before explaining the Git, let me give you one example. So let's suppose you are writing a letter or an application and you want it to be the best. You write one page, you found that there is one mistake in that page, so you write the second page. It's your more upgraded version, more better version of your application. Now third, you write something, third letter. So every time you write, it gets better and better, but at some point you saw that the motive of your application got removed. Now you come back to the first one and you want to use that one. So what is happening in this scenario, in this process, you wrote four letters. In four letters you have done some upgradation, but while upgrading the document, while updating the document, you did some changes which led to some mistake. In that case, what did you do? You go back to the previous page, maybe third, second, or first page. So this is the version. This is the version of your application or the letter, whatever you are writing, whatever you are updating. So in this case, you have four versions. You can manage it easily, and every time you create the next application, maybe in Notepad or maybe in any textbook, you are turning over the page. You are giving some name, maybe the page number, page one, application two, application three, application four, something like that you are giving. But let's suppose if there is a system, you have to create thousands of applications, maybe hundreds of applications. How will you be able to do that? How will you be able to maintain that order, that which one you created first, which one you created at the end, and how did you uh, go back to them, and how will you manage to write their name? So this is more and more complex to write the name manually, to manage this manually. That is why Git came into picture. So what does Git do? Git is a version control system where it take every changes and give it a name and moves on to the next one. Whenever we need it, whenever we need the previous change, we can go back to the previous one and we can change that also, and we can update the file again. So it is the version controls, something like we are progressing in terms of writing code, in terms of modifying code, in terms of adding feature, everything we do. But at some times it will happen, it happens with everyone, that we do some mistake, or maybe the client do not want the change, that the requirement gets reverted. They previously they want change, they want that features to be in their application, but now they don't want. So in that case, we have to take one step back and we have to use the previous version. So that's how Git is very important. Now let's understand it in terms of technical language. So what is Git? Git is a tool. What it does, it tracks everything. It tracks everything. Everything means every change. Whenever we commit, here the commit word means whenever we write, whenever we do some changes. So it tracks every change. Whenever we make any change, it makes a version of it. It creates a version of it with the naming, proper naming, and the chain of versioning. So that's how it remembers everything. Every change it remembers. Whenever we needed to step back, whenever needed to go back to the original code where where it got started, or where we have the correct one, so we can go to that version. Well, how can we go to that version? How can we go to that part? We'll go into that detail later. But the motive of this video is to understand the Git and GitHub only. So the theory part will understand how Git works, the coding and the GUI part, the command CLI part, We'll understand it later. So the very first thing, what is Git? It is a tool which tracks every change ever made to a file, ever made to your code or file. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, so because of this, there is one more benefit, because it remembers everything. Everything means the developer who wrote the code, जिसने कोड लिखा है, and when. Okay, so there can be a possibility that there are many developers working together, so in that case, what they do, they create some branches, and they use them. Those branches are nothing but a new page where they can write their own code, and later they can merge it, right? So this is it. Now, so we understood the Git. Now it also helps in merging the code. Okay, this problem, let me. Okay, now so it makes merging the code easier. How it does? So how it does, before understanding how it does that, we will understand why it is a problem to merge the code. So for example, you and your friend or your whole class together created or wrote 50 letters, and now you have to merge all of them in a one single letter. How will you do that? So that's a big problem. If you go manually, you'll copy paste it. You'll pick one by one and you'll paste it in a single big file. But here, what they can do, they can have all the changes from all the developers, and this Git tool enables the developer that they can merge at any point, irrespective of what they have made the changes. But they have to remember one thing: there should not be any conflict. Conflict means there are same files. Sometimes what happens in real world scenarios, whenever you are writing a code, two-person or two developers can work on the same file. Then what they need to do, they need to check. They need to pull the code first from the second developer who's already pushed the code. Then he has to work on it, so that there is no conflict. Because if you write the code in the same file, there will be conflict, because you may have changed the same thing which your colleague has done. Okay, so that is also made easier with Git, right? So this is Git. Now, what are the key concepts in Git? Like, what are the main things in Git we used to understand? So let's first understand the home of Git. So there is one more term, which is GitHub. As it explains itself, GitHub is a home of Git. So whatever change we have, whatever we are doing in GitHub. GitHub is the home for Git. So Git is a tool, but GitHub is a home. Whatever code we are writing, it will be stored in GitHub, right? It's like a home. Okay, so that's it. That means it's a home. Let me explain it a bit more and write it a bit more. It will store all of the code you have written, right? Okay, now we have understood two things. Git, it is a tool which will track everything, each and everything. Second thing, and whenever Git commits, What do you mean by commit? Commit, we'll understand this term later also, but let me tell you, commit is something like we are writing something. We have created something, now we have pushed it to the GitHub. So GitHub, what it will do, it will save the value, save the data, save the code in GitHub. That's a home. So so for example, whenever you are writing anything on Notepad, so you write 3 or 4 files and you save somewhere. You save in Internet Explorer, not the Internet Explorer. You save in File Explorer. You save at some location in your device. So similarly, whenever you do any changes in the program or web application, you write some code, you make some changes. After making some changes, you check it if it is working or not. If everything works fine, you push it. You commit the changes to the GitHub. GitHub is a home, so you store it in GitHub. So that's the GitHub, right? Now the term which we are talking about, which you will hear the most. The very first term you will be hearing, the repository. What is this repository? The repository is nothing but a folder where your code will be stored, and where you want to store your code. So it is nothing but it is a folder in GitHub where you will store your project files and the complete history. It will have all the history. When you have committed, when you have saved, it will have the history also, right? Okay, let me save this. I'll give it git intro, and I'll save it in my device. So, okay, now we have understood the repository. Repository is nothing but a folder where we are saving our project, right? Now come to the next step. Next is commit. I'll copy this, I'll paste it here. Okay, now commit. So what does commit mean? Commit is nothing but this. It's like saving your work. Whenever, like I've said, I am pushing your file. So what I'm doing, I'm committing the code. Committing means I'm saving the code. That part of code I'm sending to my GitHub. So that's commit. Commit is a command which saves the data, which push the data to, not push is also a different command, but for now you can understand it like that. Commit is used to save your data in your repository. But there is one more thing. After commit, whenever we commit, it adds all files, it commit to the folder, and then we push it to our repository. So commit is nothing but a snapshot of your file at one point of time. So I'll give you simple definition here. So it is the snapshot of the changes at that particular time. So let's say I'm in between writing some code and it is half done, right? So whatever changes I have done, it was already 50% completed, like 10% I have added. So that 10% changes is a commit. It is a snapshot, and it will come whenever we commit. It will come with our name, that who has committed this, when he has committed it, and there will be a commit record that we have made these changes, and all the files, all the differences we can see, right? So this is a commit. And one more thing important here, every commit will have unique ID. Will have unique ID. Just like we wrote applications and we modified, and whenever we made a single change also, we renamed it, we give it a new name. So similarly, the Git will every time it will give the file a new name, the unique ID whenever we count, whenever we save. Right now, we have one more thing, which is branch. So we are related. Branch is nothing like a new page. Like I have told you, branch is what? It's a separate page where we are writing. It is like a separate page or lane of development, if we talk about in technical terms. So if we are doing any changes, so for example, a person, a developer A has created one feature, and we have to add few things in that feature also. So I'm going to create one branch from that main feature, branch. Maybe we can say that that developer A branch is main branch. He has done the changes in the main branch. Now your part is to add some more features, some more processes in that branch. So what will you do? You'll copy the existing code from that main branch, and you will create a branch. So it's like this. Let's suppose I'm trying to, so this is my main branch, and from main branch I need to add few more details. So I'll cut one branch, I'll make a copy. So in that copy I'll do some changes. So what changes I'm doing? It is separate lane of development. We work on it and build the feature after once feature is completed. Once feature is completed, we test it. Without testing, we will not do that. We test it, and then we merge it back to the main branch. Right? So I have created this branch. Right? I've created this branch. Now my work is done. I have tested that this content is okay. Now I will merge this. I'll merge here. I'll merge in this part. So I have merged this. Right? Now I have the updated content also. I have the main content also, main code also. But that branch we have created, it will also be there. It will have the code also. But if we want, we can delete that branch also. So it will have that branch, and we can merge it. Right? So you understood this. Branch is nothing but a new page, a new branch. So branch means it's a twig. It's an extended part from the main branch where we do some work, we test it. Once it is completed, and we merge it back to the main branch so that we can check it is working or not. Because there can be only one main branch, and there can be any number of sub branches where any number of developers can work as per the task given. Right? So the word merge, I said, it is second in our list. So merge is nothing. What is merging? Adding the code from the branches, from the sub branch, we can say sub branches, to the main branch. Got it? So this is what merge to. So we merged already, so we understood the merge. Now we talk about the remote. This will play a good role. Understand this term very clearly. What is this? Why do we call it remote? Remote is a copy of our repository. It is a copy of repository. I'm adding one more name here, folder, to understand it better. But it is not a folder, it is a repository. We call it repository in the process of Git and GitHub. So it is a copy of repository which is placed where? Which is placed, or we can say stored in the GitHub. We store in GitHub, no? So this is remote. So for example, we are working, for example, we have code in local, right? And it is saved in our system or drive. Once code is completed, once code is written, what we will do, we'll commit it. Where we will commit it? We'll commit it to the remote branch. Remote branch is what? It's a repository, it's a folder, it's a place in GitHub where we keep our repository safe or stored for forever if it is not deleted. Now, the next, clone. That's a very simple term. It is a copy of the project, or we can say repo. We can clone. We can make a copy of project. How can we do it? We will see it in our whenever we do the practical. We'll see it there. There is a command git clone we can. Now there is one more term, PR request. It is called pull request. You will see this a lot of time if you work in where in MNCs, these PRs are raised every day, multiple times a day by a developer whenever they want to do some changes. Whenever their code part is completed, they complete the code writing part they have tested, they'll raise the PR request. They are not directly allowed to push to commit the code into the repository, main repository, because it may break the code, it may break the program. So that's why they create a pull request to their supervisor, to their lead or senior, who will review the code changes and then approve this PR change. And after approval, it will be merged. And you can also merge it. Your senior can also merge it. After this, after approval, you can merge it. Otherwise, you will not be able to merge it. You will need permission, or you will need a reviewer to review your PR. Okay. So what we have done GitHub, repository, commit, branch, merge, clone, right, and PR request. So one more term I'm going to tell you here, which is head. What is head? Head is the pointer. Head is the pointer where you are in the Git repo, Git history. So as I said, that every commit will give one unique ID. So let's say you made few changes, like before I gave you one example of writing 4 applications. So now you are at the second application. So second application is your head where you are currently. You can go back, you can go to the current part. So whichever is your current path, where are you, like page number 1, 2, 3, or commit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or endless, which is determined by the unique ID of the commit ID. That would be your head, where you are pointing, where you are currently in the Git history. So this is about Git and GitHub. So it is quite easy. Why do we need Git and GitHub? To store our code. Second, to maintain the versioning, to control the versioning of our code. Whenever there is any mistake, there is any failure in our code, we can go back, and we can use our old code. So that's the Git and GitHub part.